Hey guys, shooting another video from inside the truck running between appointments. I'm incredibly busy right now with a lot of client calls, a lot of Zooms. So it's one of the few times I get to kind of stop and shoot a video. But what I've been doing is compiling a list of questions that come up repeatedly in my calls with clients. And so I do a couple of different cool sessions. One, I go through, I rewrite people's resumes, aligning them to a specific job they're interested in, or I do some career coaching. So of the first group, there always tends to be the same types of questions revolving around, what is an ATS system? What's the best way to handle interviews? And one that comes up repeatedly because there's so many different opinions about it is, should I be sending a cover letter? And there's no one definitive answer to this, but I think largely it depends on the position you're applying for. If you're applying for a more entry-level role and they're not asking you for a cover letter, I would say, you know what, don't stress about writing one. You can always have an introductory paragraph in your resume where you kind of explain who you are and your interest in that specific job, always believing, again, that you should target your resume to the specific job. So I would say don't stress too much about writing a cover letter for a more entry-level role. If it's a more middle management, a more senior role, I would say 100% you want to send a cover letter. Now, a lot of companies won't state explicitly that they're looking for one, but I don't see there anything wrong. It won't hurt you if you do include one. And a number of job postings, they will explicitly state, please attach your resume and cover letter, or your CV and cover letter. So what are they trying to get from the cover letter? Like, what is the purpose behind it today? It does a number of things. And why do I think that you should always send one in for a more senior role? One, it lets you really express to them your interest in this particular position. You wouldn't believe how many resumes I received if I was, say, recruiting for, and again, on a more entry-level side, people that were applying for a job posting to, say, work in a shipping department in a large warehouse. But the resume would come in and it would say, I'm really interested in working in your restaurant. So clearly, they were just sending out the same resume. They weren't even checking it before they were sending it. A cover letter, what it lets you do, it lets you state explicitly your interest in that role, in that particular position. It lets you really express the value that you bring. Now, you don't want to be repeating the contents of your resume. I've seen people do this, where they just basically, I did this, and this in this job, and this is why you should hire me. They can already see what you did in those jobs by reading your resume. So don't repeat the contents of your resume. If anything, maybe draw their attention to one, perhaps two real key points, real key big wins from your current or a recent position. So it lets you really show why you're interested in that job and the value that you bring specifically for that role. It also lets you prove to them that you can communicate. Now, a cover letter really shouldn't be more than just a few paragraphs long. And again, really keep them as tight as you possibly can. I frequently get them from clients I'm working with, and the cover letter is like 2 pages. I guarantee you, nobody is going to read a 2-page cover letter. Nobody has the time. Maximum you want to shoot for 3, perhaps 4 very concise paragraphs, expressing your interest in the role, the value that you bring, perhaps explaining a little bit more about who you are as a person, as a candidate, to show that you're a cultural fit for the organization, and expressing your thanks for their attention. So essentially trying to convey a lot of details, a lot of information in a very short space. So they'll get to see, how do you craft correspondence? You might be in a role where you'll be sending a lot of emails and they want to get a sense of how you write. So it lets them really see how you communicate, how you get your key points across. The final reason I think you should really be sending a cover letter, especially for a mid-management or more senior role, is that I can guarantee you that very, very few people are sending them. And just the fact of you including a cover letter with your application will really make your application stand apart from everybody else. It is a dying art. Letter writing in general is a dying art. And so are cover letters. People just assume that nobody reads them. They're not given the same weight they used to be given, perhaps 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago, but there's still a place for them. A lot of companies, remember, a lot of HR recruiting systems are still structured around the model that was developed some time ago, and certain things are ingrained. So look at the position you're applying for. If it's really a more, and just for lack of a better term, a more transactional role where they're not looking for a great number of skill sets, I wouldn't stress about sending a cover letter. A more senior role, a more middle management, a more senior role where a position of leadership, definitely include a cover letter, even if they don't ask for one. If there's no room to attach a cover letter, you can always create your resume and have the first page as the letter itself. So I hope you got some value from this. If you did, I would really appreciate you subscribing. Keeps me motivated to keep putting out more content. And please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so that you receive updates of when I'm putting out a new video. If you have any questions about cover letters, resumes, interviewing, job seeking, just drop me a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Check out my links too for my Win the Job Hunt course. It's a great little program, really kind of covering everything from A to Z about what you need to be doing, especially if you're new in the job market. This is your first time looking for a job, or you're re-entering the workforce. Check out my Win the Job Hunt course, and there's some other great stuff coming up as well. Until next time, thanks for watching. Best of luck with the job hunt, and I'll see you on the next one.